Hello, my name is Andreas and I work for Hegel and I'm the sales representative for Norway, Sweden and South and Eastern Europe. And I also do most of the content management and make the manuals and the boxes and stuff like that. So it's a varied job description. I started working in HiFi 20 years ago, in 2004. So that's 20 years from now. And 19 years ago, I bought my first stereo system, proper stereo system, and it was a Hegel. And I've never had another amplifier. I've tried many other amplifiers, but Hegel has always been the one that just hit my heart the right way, that made the music stand out and be punchy and agile and have all the things I was looking for in a sound system. So when the opportunity came along and there was a position available, I applied and I got the job. So I've been there now 5 years and yeah, very happy about that. It was the H200 with the CDP2 CD player, and the speakers are actually the same speakers I have to this day. I haven't changed them out. I've changed amplifiers a bunch of times, always Hegel, but never the speakers. And they're Audio Vector MI1 Avant-Garde. Depends how long ago you want to talk about, but anyone who's been in HiFi for a while will say that the market has changed. Some will say, well, HiFi, it's a niche thing and it doesn't have the same broad appeal as it used to. Yes and no. This year, there's never been more HiFi products coming out. All the major brands are coming out with new stuff that is cool and innovative. There's a lot of new startups, a lot of new speaker companies has been, just over the last 5 years, has been popping up that are making waves in the industry. The revolution of having good sounding active speakers is something we never had before. There is so much development going on in the industry. It's a sign of it being healthy and thriving and really trying to reach new audiences wherever possible. So yes, a lot of changes, and I love it because it's dynamic and it's fun to work with. We are a very technical company. Our lead engineer and owner and founder of Hegel, Bent Holter, he's our lead electric designer. He designs all our DAC, all our amplifiers. And all the development is done by using measurements. So we improve upon our product by using measurements. If we can remove an error here, distortion there, a distortion there, and we see this in measurements, then we say, okay, now we might have a new and better product. We put it to the test by assembling that product and then listening to it. That always yields a better result, but there are still the need for the human ear, because the human ear is much more precise than these measurements in some regards. The measurements can tell us a lot, but it doesn't tell us everything. So a transistor from a different batch might sound a bit different than the previous batch for some reason, or it has the exact same specs, exact same company, but it just sounds a bit different. And those small little final tweaks we do by ear. But we do strive to be as neutral as possible. Our goal is to not get in the way of what the speakers do, because the speakers are the biggest interpreters of the music signal, how a speaker company wants the sound to be is very unique to that specific speaker brand. And there are American speaker brands that want it big and in your face and direct. That is cool. And there are other manufacturers, British speaker brands, more polite, more relaxed, more proper. That is also cool. We don't want to say, oh, but Hegel, if you add in Hegel, then you will get this or that or an added benefit. No, we want the Hegel to be powerful enough to drive both the American speaker and the British speaker and make them sound as much as themselves, so that the American rock and roll speaker really is rock and roll, and that a British polite speaker really catches all those nuances and details. No, never. We always rely on the measurements. Because those are the only facts we have. Our ears can deceive us, so we would never see an improvement in measurements and then try to negate that because we didn't like it, because we always like it. There's always an improvement in the sound quality. There might be sound differences in the components themselves, but when we do those swaps, it is always with the exact same component, the exact same measurements, so that we do not disturb those measurements. They are the basis of what we do. If not, it is very easy to get lost, and then suddenly you start developing a sound that isn't neutral or right. It's just what you believe is right, but it isn't really. This is also one of the reasons why all Hegel products basically sound the same. They're just increments better, 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 better. Every step up you make, you can clearly hear it's that same neutral dynamic power. It's just more relaxed every step of the way. Yes and no. The loudspeaker that is most permanently in our sound lab is the Blade 1 Metas. But they're not the best instrument to catch all the things we want. So we have several other speakers as well. We have some Magicos, we have some Audio Vectors, we have a lot of different brands. And of course we travel the world with our gear to shows where we use a myriad of different speakers, and we listen to them all on these speakers. But for developing the amplifiers, what we basically need is something that is revealing enough, that we can hear the differences, especially in the upper treble area. That is really key. And also with the bass control, a bit of a heavy load just to check that it has the right amount. But we're at the level now where we know the products that we release are going to be good because they're improvements of already really insanely good products. So we just need to, have that final test. I think it's good. I mean, Bowers & Wilkins, they are not the easiest speakers to drive. They really demand a lot of the amplifier. We have amplifiers that can deliver that power and have that control over those speakers, which makes them sound a bit more engaging than it would with another amplifier brand, perhaps. In terms of personal preferences, Bowers & Wilkins isn't my favorite sounding speaker, but that's me. I played some rooms with Bowers & Wilkins with people who have never ever been allowed to play the music they like huge orchestral classical pieces. They've been to shows, they've been to demo rooms, and they say no, these can't handle that. But with the Hegel and Bowers & Wilkins combo, you can definitely do that and get all that detail and all that scale at once. And that is truly, truly impressive. Taking out the streaming part wouldn't actually save us a whole lot of money. it would mean having a separate production line with a separate product, which would be similar to a product with streaming, because most people want the streaming inside. This is what we are known for, having an all-in-one box that can be used in any type of situation. You want to connect Spotify? Sure, do that. You want to do Roon? Yes. You want to connect digitally? Yes. Analogically? Yes. You can do everything. All you need to do is connect a speaker. Now, that being said, we do realize that there are customers that want the more analog, classical route. And for that, we have our separate amplifiers. Making a pure analog integrated amplifier, yeah, it's not on the horizon yet, because the cost savings wouldn't be that great, so it would basically be the same price for an amplifier without the same feature set. I don't think a pure analog amplifier is on the horizon anytime soon. But that being said, there's a lot of things we've done in recent years that we said we'd never do, like phono stage, and now most recently an app so that you can control the amplifiers. So I've learned never to say never, but nothing in the immediate horizon at least. Our newest product is the H400, but it is, of course, been released and it's freely available what that is all about. We do have products on the workbench that we're working on, and there will be news coming next year as well, but I can't reveal that right now, sorry. Check it out for yourself. There are so many great hi-fi shops in the world that carry a myriad of different products in all kinds of different price ranges. Use them for what they are worth. Go in there, ask them about what they offer, how things sound. Check out many different speaker brands, many different amplifier brands. Find what engages you, what sound you like, because ultimately, that is what it is about. It's about enjoying music. And for you to enjoy music, you need to find your sound. I'm constantly looking for mine. I think I found out sort of out what I want. But when you do find that and you sit down and you just are blown away with what you hear, all right, then you're onto something.
Thank you so much for your time.